It was the El Clasico that nobody expected to define Marcus Rashford's future, but it did. At the Spotify Camp Nou with Barcelona facing Real Madrid in one of football's greatest rivalries, Rashford stepped onto the pitch as a starter on the right wing. He played 64 minutes, and in those 64 minutes he did something that silenced every critic who had written him off during his final days at Old Trafford. He scored a stunning free kick. Barcelona won. And with that win, they clinched the La Liga title. That moment didn't just make headlines, it made history. Marcus Rashford became the first English player in 41 years to win La Liga. Let that sink in. Not since the early 1980s had an English footballer lifted that trophy in Spain, and it was the same player who just months earlier was being frozen out at Manchester United, loaned out, and written off by a significant portion of the fanbase. So when the question came, does Rashford want to return to Manchester United, his answer was clear. He has openly expressed his wish to stay at Camp Nou. He has stated that he feels privileged to be part of Barcelona's future. That is not a vague diplomatic response. That is a player who has found a home, found form, and found purpose, and has no desire to walk away from it. Now let's break down exactly how this situation developed, where it stands today, and what it means for both clubs heading into summer 2026. When Rashford arrived at Barcelona on loan in January 2025, the expectation from many was modest. A player who had lost his starting place at Manchester United, who had struggled for consistency, and who was being shipped out mid-season, it didn't exactly scream future superstar. But Hansi Flick saw something. He integrated Rashford immediately, handed him real responsibility, and trusted him in big matches. The numbers that followed are not the kind you can dismiss. In 47 appearances for Barcelona, Marcus Rashford registered 14 goals and 14 assists. That is a combined output of 28 goal contributions in a single season for a player many believed had stalled in his development. His passing accuracy across the campaign stood at 85%, and he managed 3 shot attempts in El Clasico alone, with 2 on target. These are not the statistics of a player on a confidence boost. These are the statistics of a player operating at a high level consistently. Flick has praised Rashford for his professionalism and consistency in big matches, the exact qualities his critics claimed he lacked during his time in Manchester. The transformation has been visible, measurable, and documented across an entire season of European football. But here is where the story becomes complicated, because football is never just about performance. It is also about contracts, finances, and club politics. Manchester United are reportedly ready to sell Rashford permanently. The club wants a quick resolution so they can plan their squad rebuild without uncertainty hanging over a high-earning player. From United's perspective, the £30 million permanent purchase fee they are believed to be seeking represents a reasonable return on a situation that 12 months ago looked far messier. Barcelona, however, are not in a straightforward position. La Liga's financial fair play regulations place strict limitations on what the club can spend. Despite Rashford's extraordinary contribution to their title-winning season, Hansi Flick has reportedly indicated a preference for extending the loan arrangement rather than committing to a permanent transfer at this stage. That preference isn't necessarily a reflection of Rashford's value, it is a reflection of Barcelona's financial constraints. This creates a window of genuine uncertainty. Summer 2026 is the decisive moment. United want clarity. Barcelona want flexibility, and Rashford, by his own admission, wants to stay. There's also the personal story behind the El Clasico free kick that is worth telling. Before he stepped up to take that set piece, Rashford had doubts. According to reports surrounding the moment, a teammate encouraged him to back himself, and he did. The execution was precise, the goal stood, and it secured a La Liga title for Barcelona in one of the most high-pressure environments in club football. That is not the profile of a player who crumbles under pressure. That is a player who delivers in defining moments. While the Rashford situation dominates headlines for obvious reasons, Manchester United have also made their position clear on another key player, and it is equally significant for the club's direction. Amad Diallo is not for sale. That is the club's firm stance, and it has been communicated without ambiguity. Despite a recent dip in form that sparked speculation about a potential departure, Manchester United are shutting down any sale discussions. Ruben Amorim established his faith in Amad early in the season, and that hasn't changed. Under Michael Carrick, Amad's role evolved, shifting from a right wing-back position to playing as an out-and-out winger. His numbers for the season show 5 goal contributions across 2,166 Premier League minutes. The dip in form was noted, but it has not altered the club's position. His contract runs until 2030, and Manchester United are reportedly laughing off interest from other clubs. The club is actively seeking reinforcements on the flanks, but Amad's place in the squad remains secure. That contract length and that club's stance say everything about how United view the 23-year-old's long-term role in the rebuild. The third major story running parallel to all of this involves a player United want to bring in, and it is arguably the most significant piece of transfer business they are pursuing. Aurelien Tchouaméni of Real Madrid is Manchester United's priority midfield target for the upcoming window. The reason is straightforward. United need to fill the void left by Casemiro's departure, and Tchouaméni fits the profile they are looking for: physically imposing, tactically intelligent, and capable of operating in multiple roles. His 2025-26 season at Real Madrid has been one of consistent excellence. Across 43 appearances, 30 in La Liga and 13 in the Champions League, Tchouaméni delivered numbers that reflect exactly the kind of midfielder United have been missing. His passing accuracy for the season stands at 91.4%. He won 75.3% of his aerial duels. He completed 63 tackles, 41 interceptions, and 133 ball recoveries. During Real Madrid's defensive crisis this season, he was dropped into the center-back position and performed the role without disruption, something very few midfielders can do credibly. He made 28 domestic starts, making him near indispensable for Alvaro Arbeloa's side. And even in El Clasico, the match that handed Barcelona the title, Tchouaméni played the full 90 minutes and still carried a season average rating of 7.42. That is not a player who fades in big moments. That is a player who competes at the highest level every week. So why would Real Madrid sell him? Internal dynamics at the Santiago Bernabeu are understood to be a factor. There are reported tensions involving Federico Valverde, and Florentino Perez's broader squad revolution plans for the summer could open doors that appeared closed 12 months ago. Crucially, Real Madrid's reported pursuit of Rodrigo's replacement and Rodri from Manchester City may accelerate squad restructuring, and that restructuring could push Tchouaméni toward the exit. But the obstacles for Manchester United are real and significant. Real Madrid paid approximately £100 million for Tchouaméni when they signed him. They will not sell at a discount. United would need to offload players to generate the funds required. And perhaps most critically, Champions League qualification is a non-negotiable factor in attracting a player of Tchouaméni's profile. A midfielder who has played Champions League football at Real Madrid is not going to drop into Europa League football without serious hesitation. This is the reality United must confront. The player is available in the right circumstances. The profile fits perfectly. But the financial and sporting conditions need to align, and for Manchester United, that alignment is not yet guaranteed. 3 stories, 3 different dynamics, but they all point to the same underlying truth about where Manchester United are as a football club right now. They are a club trying to hold on to their best young asset in Amad Diallo and succeeding. They are a club navigating the complex aftermath of Marcus Rashford's departure, with a player who has flourished elsewhere now publicly declaring he wants to stay there. And they are a club targeting elite-level reinforcement in the form of Aurelien Tchouaméni, a signing that would signal serious intent, but one that requires United to meet conditions that are entirely within their control to meet or fail. Summer 2026 is not just a transfer window for Manchester United. It is a statement of direction. Every decision made in the coming months on Rashford, on Amad, on Tchouaméni will define what kind of club Manchester United are planning to be for the next 5 years. The answers, for now, are starting to take shape.